Boom, we are live. Friday evening. Hope everybody is well, staying safe. A little bit nippy. Mate, it's about to be some serious springtime. So this evening, on that note, speaking of springtime, shout outs to Toronto. I just heard word that patios are allowed to be open tomorrow, so that's a game changer. And one brewery in Toronto that has a phenomenal patio is who we're going to be talking to this evening, folks. So I'm just going to get this going because I'm stoked. All right, 52. What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 52 of Beer Dunch, the podcast, Adjunct series, Quarantine Edition. This evening, if you guys are long-time watchers or listeners, you might remember this episode we did with these gentlemen back in, I think it was about mid-2018, so it has been coming up on 3 years, which is much too long. A lot has happened in the time. I'm just going to bring everybody in. Oh, and this evening I have Notion, our photographer and audio engineer. We cannot operate this podcast without this man. He is co-hosting with me, and we have Benoit and Stéphane from Bandit Brewery. Boys, welcome. Great to have you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yes. So it has been a while, Stéphane. We got to have you on a few years back, and Ben, this is your first time, so welcome, my man. Appreciate you both. So
thank you.
We have a lot to talk about. We are going to start drinking this glorious little beer right here. Focuses. There we go. This is called Cloud. This is not a new IPA though, is it? This is something that's been around for a while.
Yeah, the recipe changed a bit over time, but that's
okay.
Yeah, it's something that we are making for a long time. Though, yeah, we are trying to develop and change the recipe and improve the recipe all the time. So
okay.
Still like a Pilsner base.
Yeah.
Very easy drinking, beautiful color.
Great.
Easy drinking.
Mm-hmm. What are the hops in this one, guys?
That's mostly Citro and a bit of Galaxy. So that's we have a couple of main IPAs, and each one of them we want to highlight one of our favorite hops. Like Cloud is like the Citra IPA, so Citra and a bit of Galaxy. And the other ones are not here, but we have the Rainforest, that's the Mosaic one,
okay.
And the Odyssey, that's the Galaxy one.
Gotcha. Okay, so you really got the big dogs.
Right.
I got to do the reviews as we go. This is a beautiful looking beer, guys. Well, cheers.
Cheers, get it in you.
Yeah,
beautiful straw color.
Oh, that's great. Really nice mouthfeel.
Oh yeah.
Super soft. Nice try. I mean, obviously, if it's Citra and Galaxy, I mean that's a fantastic blend right there.
Great combo.
Really fragrant. Hey, this is great. This is really, really good. How long have you been doing this particular beer?
This batch?
This just this product line. How long has that one been around for?
Yeah, that beer we have been making it for 2 years.
2 years.
And but the recipe changed a bit over time, and also the way we dry hop changed a little bit. So I think we're quite happy with the way it's. Because obviously for all our New England IPAs, the dry hop is the critical phase. And we started changing a couple of things with this one. Mm-hmm. And we're quite happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I love it.
It's got a great chalky finish on this one. It's got leads you once you make sure we'll come back for some more, but it's got that chalky good stuff that we want.
Yeah.
Oh, super fresh. This one was canned a couple of days ago.
Oh, super fresh. I love it. Yeah, Juan was saying this is the one, the super fresh ones, the movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It smells great. So, boys, like I said, it's been about 3 years since we've had, Bandit on the podcast. So, for those who might not have, seen that original episode, there's probably some value in maybe just going through the story of how you guys started and how you guys both got into beer. We don't have to go into it in depth. They can listen to the first episode if they want to go back to it. But, since Ben hasn't been on, it'd be great to hear his story. But, excuse me. I'd love to hear how you both got into beer and how Bandit came about. Whoever wants to go first.
So, I've been home brewing for like a long time. Like 10 days, 10 years, 10 days.
10 days.
Yeah, 10.
Very good. Very soon.
Back in, yeah, going faster.
Yeah.
And no, like about 10 years back in France. So a friend of mine, who by the way opened up a brewery since then, taught me how to brew. It was very basic stuff because in France we have a strong Belgian influence in beer. So it's really like a Belgian double, something like that. The first batch I brewed with him, and since then I kept homebrewing until I opened Bandit.
Okay, so it was just straight homebrewing, and you moved to Canada.
Yeah, home like most people. It's not very not a very original story. But
yeah, it is quite common.
Not too glamorous.
No, but hey, but it's efficient. It gets it there. Okay,
that's true.
So, by the way, obviously people can't tell you both are from France, which is awesome. I'm here in Montreal, so I'm used to hearing a completely different type of French accent, and I always forget that the French accent is so different from the Quebecois French accent until I speak to people from France. Like, oh yeah, it's so different. I have a lot of trouble understanding people here with French. My French is pretty shit, but when I see, like I say, if I watch a movie or if you guys spoke French, I feel like I can understand it all. It's like you guys are very clear with the way you pronounce words, and it just makes it so much easier. So thank you. Thank you from a non.
That's true, actually. I agree.
It's just so much different. No shade to Quebec. I love you guys. I'm just saying I can't understand you.
No, but cheers to France French.
Exactly. Cheers to that. Ben, tell us about how you ended up at Bandit, bro, and how you got into beer.
Yeah, so my story it's quite similar. I came to Toronto like almost now 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
8 years, not 8 days. And I met a buddy in Montreal, a French guy. I'm coming from the north of France, so very close to the Belgian border. And we started to homebrew together. His roommate was the head brewer in Montreal of, I don't remember the pub now, but like a small like brew pub in Montreal.
Okay.
And he introduced me to the home brewing, and I fell in love because, of course, like as Stéphane said, I was also very influenced by the Belgium style, like everything like Carmelite, like Orval, like all this style that I really love. And so yeah, I get inside and I learn a lot. And I came to Bandit. It was like 4 years ago. I was working in retail before, like so nothing to do. I was working like sport industry. And I decided just to make like a big move. And like I came to Bandit with my homebrew, say, hey, do you want to try? Like this is what I'm doing, and also like I was doing like also like beer tasting at home.
Right.
So like inviting people in my room, my place, like 8-10 people, and like explaining like how we are making beer, like in general, because I was not working in a brewery, but like how like beer are made, why this beer is blonde, why this beer is amber, why this is a stout. So basically like the basic of the basic. And I came to Stéphane and said, like, if you want, I can do like some beer tasting if you want, to bring people inside the brewery during like I don't know, like winter time when it's a bit slow. And I said, yeah, okay, why not? And 2 weeks after, he said, okay, like he also asked me like to be like to work in packaging because position was open, and I jump on it and I start like to be like on the packaging for like maybe like 4, 5, 6 months. And then I started to be assistant brewer because, of course, it's a very tiny brewery. Like it's a team of 3 or 4 people maximum. So, and then at some point the brewer like left, and I took over him. I'll say because we had no choice, so I took over him for 2 years and a half. And then I decided to have to gain more experience, more skill, and I decided to leave, to quit Bandit for a year. To just have more skills, and I went to Goose Island in Toronto. So totally different atmosphere, totally different style of beer, of course. But I learned a lot, so very, very good and great experience. And at some point, like I came back here last October, because Stéphane offered me to manage like the barrel age program, which I really love. And no, I'm the lead brewer here, managing a team of 2-3 people, managing the 55 barrel that you can see behind me. And even more because I say like it's a tiny brewery, but there is a lot to do. So you have to do everything like in this kind of company. So you have to be like very adaptable, and I really like that. So yeah, that's my journey. That's me. That's
what I love.
Cheers. That's great. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Yes.
That is awesome.
The barrels, are you guys sitting? I'm just trying to picture. I think I know where you are in the brewery. Is this on the side near the bathrooms? Is that where the barrels are?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. Yeah.
See the raccoon logo?
Yeah.
It's like
On the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So that was not there when I was there last. I think I must have come after that 2018 day. But the barrel pro, I don't even remember if you had. Did you have barrel aged beers back then? Were you guys doing that?
Yeah, it was very limited. We had maybe back then 8 barrels.
Okay.
But I think during COVID time, inside had been closed for maybe about a year now. The barrel aging side colonized the brewery a little bit. So now we have 55 barrels. I wish we had more because it's a lot of fun. Benoit can talk more about it. But
Yeah.
So the decor changed a little bit. But I think it's for the best because we're having a lot of fun. Like aside from the IPA that are our main focus, to start playing around with the sour beers, wild ales, and we're going to try some of these tonight.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
That's exciting.
You know what? I do remember now. Brad, I don't know if you remember because you were there last time, but we were on the patio with you guys afterwards, and I actually remember the barrel thing was around the corner behind you, up near the bottle shop, I think. Is that right?
It was,
but since then we changed the kitchen there.
Okay.
But they still room for barrels, but that's
It was.
You're correct. You had 4 barrels.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 4 barrels behind the bottle shop and maybe like 8 in the back. So yeah.
All right. So 55
nice.
now. That's a big expansion. That's super cool.
Wow.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's difficult to below a certain number of barrels. It's just difficult to. I think it's more interesting for us to do interesting. If you want to do blends, if you don't have any barrels to blend, that's not. It's not very interesting. I think 50, 55 barrels is kind of a good number to start with. I wish we had above 100, but at least it starts being a bit interesting for us to blend like sour ales.
It's interesting to blend and also for the turnover also because as soon as you empty a barrel, for the next one you have to wait at least 6 months. So working with 50, you can at least every 2 weeks transfer and fill a barrel and play with them. So with 8 it's a bit more complicated, of course. So 50 gives you like a lot of space and time to play with these babies. So
I love it. The barrel program, I imagine that's year round then. Like you guys are constantly, like from what I understand, you guys are doing stout. Tonight we're going to do the stouts, the barleywine and the wild ale. So you guys are doing a bit of everything. Like you're not even just picking one style and sticking to that. Like you've gone the whole lot.
Yeah. Like even like regarding the style, we just launched like maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, like a new series because it's called the Longwave. And the idea is to have like just a single barrel, so no blend, no adjunct, nothing else, so just straight from the barrel. And like it can be like a barley wine, it can be like a quad, it can be like a golden sour ale, a white ale. So basically, we have maybe I would say like 6-7 different styles in a barrel, but also like in different kind of barrels. So I can have an imperial stout in for example, I have like an imperial stout now, like in a maple syrup bourbon barrel, in a bourbon barrel, in a rum barrel, and in a like Pinot Noir barrel. So it's like very different. The same beer, of course, but different flavors gonna hand at the end with the barrel. So it's like 6-7 bags of beer, but then We have like I would say 7 or 8 different kind of barrel too. So it multiply. It's very like it's a lot of different style.
That's sick. Have you guys ever done? And I've already started seeing this recently, so I never really thought of it. But I'm seeing more releases from breweries that are doing double barrels. So they'll do like, I don't know, 3 months in bourbon, 3 months in rye. Have you guys ever played with that type of stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
No.
Have you
double.
heard of-
Yeah.
Okay.
But double age.
The double is like becoming a thing. Is that correct? I've only seen it like,
I've seen a couple of breweries doing this.
yeah, and it was like I didn't know it was a thing, and I started realizing, well, I guess it makes sense. It gives you more to kind of play with, but being that you've got so many different styles and then so many different types of barrels, I mean that's that's a pretty
Next time
significant.
you us, we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, we need to get that. Would you guys consider getting like an external facility to keep all the barrels in? Like, so you could expand.
Like an offsite, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we would love doing that.
I'd
That's
love to.
the only thing that's good with our setup here. That's everything is available. So you want to do a barrel tasting? Okay, you can just go there. You taste your barrel, and that's very easy. If you start having a separate facility, it's like way more management too. You have to go there, and so at least it ensures that we taste the barrel often, and we kind of know what we are doing, although we cannot always know what's going on with the sour white ales. But at least we can taste the barrel on a regular basis and all talk about it, the whole team. I think I would love to. If you could have a second facility we could do barrel aging in a larger scale, at least 200 barrels. I would love doing that.
It'd be a little easier. Yeah, I
But,
do understand.
many parameters, but
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, about the tasting, because you're already there now. It would be a whole excursion to be like, all right, it's a planned thing rather than like just randomly. Let's go.
You'd want it right there.
Yeah, and you probably couldn't monitor them as much, but I
it just
guess.
adds so much logistic. So if we do something like this, I think we should probably brew there and have an activity that's not just barrel aging, maybe. Although many breweries do that successfully, having just a barrel aging facility. We'll see.
Could go either way. Okay. I was gonna say.
It'll keep you busy for sure.
Oh hell yeah! I'm keeping an eye on the time because I know that we sort of have a stop and we want to make sure we get through all the beers. So do you want to move to the next IPA and we'll talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're doing Hive next. Is that correct? One called Hive, please.
Yes, Hive is going to be the next one.
All right. Can you guys tell us
Fantastic.
about? We finished this one. I don't think we'll be drinking the rest this quick.
Yeah. So Hive is part of the
We could try.
double dry up IPA. So 8.2%. And of course with this name, so we play with we had roughly like 45 kilograms of honey for the batch.
Damn.
We have we are using like a local supplier from the bee shop. So we are using blossom, cherry honey, and the white flower honey.
Okay.
So like a nice, of course, like honey hint taste at the end, but also a lot of floral taste on the first sip, and also in the aroma. So
a bit earthy, it's kind of
Nice.
Yeah.
Pour shot? Pour shot or stand? Well, I'm doing. We take the photos to promote it as we go, so it's going to make sure we get all the stuff. What is the what's the hops in this one, guys?
Citron. Citron Galaxy again.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Galaxy.
You can't ever go wrong.
Galaxy is kind of.
We love Galaxies.
Yes.
Do you find it more stable to work with, or do you find it better for? Is it better in the boil or better dry hopped? What's your reason for using it so much, other than it being awesome?
I think for all our IPAs, I think you don't get much out of the whirlpool and everything that's on the hot side. So the dry hop is probably obviously the most important part.
Yeah.
And I think Galaxy is There are some hops that you cannot replace. Like Galaxy, it only tastes like Galaxy. Citra, it tastes like Citra. And all the best, the best hops, cannot replace them. So obviously, yeah, Galaxy, it's a great hop. So we use a lot of Galaxy. Citra is a very, some people don't like Galaxy, but Citra is also, everybody likes Citra. There is no one who doesn't like Citra.
Usually, it's hard to hate.
But you have to be also careful because depending on your supplier, you have to, because we are trying a lot, we are paying a lot of attention for the hops too, because it's a big part of the dry hop, as Stéphane said, but also regarding and we're working with supplier to find like the specific lot that we are loving the most. I remember like for to find this Citra, we tried like 4 different kind of Citra, like different lot.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, like you have to be like very selective. It takes time. You have to try. You have to play. You have to. So yeah, and then you need to find a good one that can fit your beer, the style, and so yeah, it's a lot of work working on the selection of hops. So, but we're doing, I think, a good job with that. We spend a lot of time and money to find the best one. So yeah, it's very important. Yeah.
It's incredible how the same crop year, lot to lot, can taste so different.
Yeah. So you have to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard that a bunch, and also the terroir from where which farm grew it as well. With Galaxy, like going after Brad's question there, like that's an interesting hop. I always find that Galaxy is like it overwhelms anything. Whenever you have it in a beer. I don't really find that this is like blowing my face off with too much Galaxy, but like, how do you mitigate Galaxy flavors overriding those of the rest of the hops in the beer?
Yeah, that's a good. I think there is no. Honestly, that we love Galaxy. There is no. I think too much Galaxy. I think it's not a thing. We have a double IPA like a Dew. It's a single hop, the only Galaxy. I think if you have the right yeast, we use LA3, the yeast that leaves a lot of sugar in the beer, and I think there's nothing like too much Galaxy. Honestly, that's I don't think it's overpowered. If you use it with Citra is also very overpowering, so it doesn't really matter. Of course, if you use it with a hop that less dominant, but we don't do it too much. I don't have anything in mind that where Galaxy fully overpowered and other hop.
No, and we try also to balance. So of course, like we're working a lot with brew sheet. We have a lot of information for every batch that we are making. So we are trying to be also consistent of like grain per liter for the dry up, like for the whirlpool. So we're trying to be like to pay a lot of attention for that, to not go too far, not go too low, and to find the right balance. And after a few years, I think like we're on the good spot, the good like amount of hops that we want in our beer. And we're just also trying to use like the hops as fresh as possible. Also, it's also like a key. Like if you store like if you're using like a old hops or like storing like not in the fridge, like you're gonna have like this cheesy flavor, of course, and so we're trying to stay like as fresh as possible. So yeah, very important to like.
Yeah, man.
It's so good. Quality is everything.
Totally. The honey in this one. What was the inspiration with the honey? Because that's an interesting. I've seen it a couple times, but it's not really common to put wildflower honey into a double IPA. What's the thinking behind that?
Actually, I think a couple of breweries are doing that. So we tried that, and it's interesting. Like it gives you. If you make IPAs, you can do IPAs. You change the hops, change the malt a little bit, but now like crystal malts are kind of banned in the IPAs. So you don't do crystal malts anymore. So you just only have 2 row and Pilsner. Most people don't do Pilsner, so we have 2 row. So we don't have many. I think it gives something. We tried that. I think we liked it. It gives something a bit of an earthiness. It doesn't make the beer completely. It doesn't taste like honey. If you know it, okay, it's a bit of earthiness, it's a bit floral, but it kind of gives them a nice twist. Nice twist of a product that remains relatively similar in a way, because it's double IPA and a double IPA with honey. they are part of the same family.
I mean,
That's a nice twist.
I agree. I like the idea of it. I definitely got the floral because that was what I was thinking too. Like it was like it's kind of in the end and it's not like overwhelming. It's just like a nice little addition. Did you notice that? Like the floralness of the honey in that?
Yeah, definitely on the nose. And as you said at the end of the taste, but it's nicely balanced in there. It's just kind of hugging the rest of the flavors, so it's not really poking out, but it's definitely in there. It's great.
Yeah, nice little addition. I really enjoy it. I was just thinking actually when we were talking about the honey, being that like a French owner, a French head brewer, that's pretty rare in, I would imagine, in Toronto or in Ontario. How has the influences from France shown up in your beers? Like, have you guys been able to pull, being once again here in Quebec, a lot of things are very influenced by what happens in France as far as the cuisine and the type of flavors that we get in the food here, which I very much appreciate because I would argue like, how does that show up in the beer? How does or does it at all, or is it like?
No, it doesn't. That's
no, because we're not doing like any. We're just doing like a pilsner, so as a European style, of course. But other than that, we don't do European style or French or Belgian style. Not at all, actually. Maybe like in the barrage with Arthur, we're trying to have like a little style.
That's true, a little bit, try to, but like when we make white ales, trying to develop like a white
red fever or patio, like stuff like like a bit like what can I say?
That's true. Yeah, I was too fast. Again.
No, but this is I think the only European stuff that we are doing is to play with the barrel, with the white ale. The kind of something like a good lambic style, so it's gonna be more the style that we're gonna play. But like staples and regular beer. No, we are not in Belgium style or even French saison. We don't do. We used to before, I remember, but not anymore.
Okay. What about stuff like isn't Bière de Garde?
Which one?
The white.
So that's the compressor.
Brewery noise.
The compressor is.
Yo, I remember when we back in the before times when we used to go places and do things. When we used to do podcasts at breweries, that was the funniest part was the just random noises from just shit that happens in breweries. It's I missed that, so that was actually really nice to hear some just random noise. Thank you.
Welcome.
Is a Bière de Garde, isn't that a French style?
Yeah, it's totally a French style from actually even the north of France.
Okay.
So basically, the concept is pretty easy. It's usually it's also so it's beer that you're gonna make, and so I did a collaboration actually with a French brewery when I was at Bandit, my first 2 years, with Page 24. It's called, and they're very specialized in Bière de Garde. And basically it's called Page 24 because they are doing their beer with fermenting at 24 degrees for 24 days, and they keep the name for that. But Bière de Garde, it's something that you're gonna age in a bottle at a specific temperature, and you're gonna make it age basically a bit. But it's a regular beer, nothing sour, nothing, but very good style from north of France, very 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 popular.
What would you compare it to then? I've had them a bunch, but I can't even think. Is it kind of like a Vienna lager or something, or is it because I know it's copper or amber?
No, it's not going to be a lager style. It's going to be more so it's going to be an ale for sure. I will compare it as a strong blonde ale.
Okay.
I would say that strong blonde ale, that's very very famous in north of France. People love to drink strong beer, at least 8%, 8.5, so triple carmelite. There is stuff like green bourbon, stuff very very popular, Bière d'Abbaye. They are very also popular in north of France.
Alors, there are the blanc triples.
Triple.
The CBO in northern France, it's full of, it's only that, only triple.
Yeah, only triple. So lot of strong beer. Lef is very popular also in north of France. Yeah, there is a ton of different beer, but like usually it's like strong blonde ale that north of people and some people like to drink. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I couldn't remember. Nosh, have you had those before?
I haven't. No, I've just no.
No. Yeah, they're not super common in Ontario. I used to find them here a lot when I was sort of discovering beer, like early 20-teens type of thing. I just see them a lot. Just they would do a lot of French imports and stuff here. Sometimes.
No, it's pretty rare in Toronto. I don't know in Quebec, but I know here like the only one basically like that you can find is only Lef Brune and Lef Blonde. Then like that's pretty much everything. Yeah, it's very very difficult. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I was just curious in case the like the French stuff, like, you know, it's very interesting that you guys just happen to be both. You guys didn't know each other before, like you didn't know each other in French, right? No, so it worked out pretty well.
No. Yeah,
okay.
We used to live on the same street by accident. We didn't know that. We knew that after, but to live in the same street
In Toronto.
in Toronto.
Okay, that's close enough.
But before to start at Bandit, so it was pretty funny. Yeah.
No, it's very
That's
cool,
awesome.
man. Man, I guess that would you guys say that there's something that you could do in future that would bring it in, or there's nothing really that you could think of in the French, maybe cuisine or like, you know, interesting foods that, or just flavor profiles that maybe we're not used to here that you could introduce into beer to bring that in?
I want to say yes, but
Like a foie gras stout or something?
Benoit said the only thing we could have from France, honestly, beer-wise, it's
Beer-wise,
not really our taste.
Right.
But like Benoit said, just what we are doing, like with like a Bandit beer, like a patio and fruit. It's more like a Belgian influenced, but that's something I really love. It's, you know, it's not even something like we like sour ale or white ale. You know, when you are a teenager, you don't drink this kind of beer. So we even when we both
True.
left France, I guess we were kind of not too young really,
Yeah, but
to drink this kind of. I didn't know about.
no, I didn't know.
all
Like,
these
Duchesse de Bourgogne. Like, my first one was in
Just
Toronto.
about Cantillon, I never heard about that when I
Yeah.
was living in France.
Right. I mean, look, that makes a lot of sense because when we left Australia, we weren't drinking fire ass craft
Aussie
beer.
beers here.
Yeah, they were pretty standard stuff. Did you? I guess like the beers. The only reason it made me think of this now, we did a podcast with the dude from the master brewer from Rodenbach, like a year or two ago, and he was saying like in Belgium, and he's like 60 or something, but he was saying in Belgium they actually grew up just drinking like Rodenbach, like that was just around. So
Wow.
was there like the beers that you guys were drinking as a teenager, I imagine in France would be potentially different to what we were drinking in Australia or here in Canada. Like, was there like the Belgian beers around, or what was the deal there?
Yeah, but when you look at it now, I would say it was what we thought was very specialist beer was a kind of mainstream. Like we used to like Left the party you drink Left, but Left is like it's a huge company. Although they could do with a like a
Schoof, yeah.
Schoof. It's like
Schoof, yeah.
But no, it's kind of a smaller brewery.
Yeah.
But that's how deep in you would go, I guess. Everything like Cantillon. Also, it's too expensive. Teenager, it's too expensive. Anyway, even if you learn about it, it's kind of pricey.
Yeah.
And would you like it? I'm not sure. The first time I had Rodenbach was on a bike trip in Belgium, and I hated it. I thought it's horrible. It's a horrible beer. But now I love it. But the first time I had it, I hated it.
Yeah,
It's cool to get in this style. Like I mean, if you like beer and you're in craft and you are used to drink beer, you're good. But if someone like doesn't know anything and wants to try like his first beer and you give him like a Duchesse de Bourgogne or Cantillon or Rodenbach, he's gonna say, "What the hell?" Like, so it's like giving like whiskey or wine to a kid. Like it's like he's not gonna like it.
Oh wow!
That shut up there. Brr. I hate it.
That's a good episode name, like whiskey to a child. I love it.
Yeah.
I like
that Christmas, your dad just like, I tried that.
like we do in France.
You don't do that in France,
You guys are so French.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I know.
Like-
I'm sorry to go on about the French shit. I was just curious because it's not very often we get to talk to two dudes from France and Canada doing North American beers, right? It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
It's interesting also because, like, as I said, like just to finish on that, yeah. So we used to drink also like strong beer, as I said, like 8% and 0.5 from like Bière d'Abbaye and stuff like that, like Affligem, Greenbergen, Lef, and but now it's changing a bit. Like the scene is changing.
yeah,
My brother, like little brother, is still in France, and the IPA scene is starting to also come through the Europe and France. So it's changing. I'm very curious to go back and see what's happening now. But yeah, IPA and sour are starting to grow a lot in France. It's like probably like they are like 6 years like
behind.
yeah, we are 6 years in advance compared to them. But yeah, it's starting to be like a big trend.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that that a few countries are starting to really pick up, and I heard Rome in Italy is a good place. And I did hear that like France is starting to have more beer bars, and there's more interest in craft beer in the way that we see it here in North America. Because I guess none of us here are from Canada, so you know it's interesting to watch the like. Speaking from what you're talking about, you know, me and Notion have been here for 10 and a half years, so similar time to you guys, and watching Australian craft beer, which is probably maybe not 6 years behind, but it's catching up really fast because of the internet. You know, because like there are people that, well, before the last year, like people were traveling and they're coming to the States and they say, oh wow, and they're coming back. And then now they're all starting to do the type of stuff pretty much about the same time as we are. I don't, when I was there last
Wait,
time.
is it the same model as North America? They're starting to make New England IPAs, everything? Or are they doing different things?
In Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing
Because
it.
yeah.
They're not as good as us here. Like, it's definitely not the same level. Like, it would be behind Canada for sure. But they, they were doing brute IPAs. They're doing oat cream. They're doing milkshakes. They're doing all the things that we have here. Like they're doing them, imperial stouts, and they're doing some you know what's interesting though? They're doing creative shit that I haven't seen over here. Like say they're recreating candy bars or ice creams or something like that. Also, like the desserts, like the gay time stout, cakes, lamington stuff. Like they're doing that a lot more. That I don't see that as much over here. So it's like they're innovating in a different way, but they're still following the trends of North America, but a little behind. So when I was there last, I went 2016, 18, and 19. Since we've lived here, I've only been back 3 times, and we were supposed to go last year, right as all this stuff happened, and they were every time I went back, they were getting better and better, and I was like, wow, okay. Like it was very interesting to see that change. But they, I think it's exciting to watch from over here, being further ahead and being seen.
Progression,
yeah. Be like, all right, good on you guys. Like they're doing good, but yeah, they still got a ways to go, but it's cool to see. So I hope it's the same in France too. On that note, should we grab the Ned?
Yeah, that's sure.
Just keep it going. Hey, it's called Ned. Thank you. So, let's talk about Uncle Ned. What's going on with this bad boy?
Uncle Ned.
Oh shit!
This artwork is fantastic.
Straya.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't realize.
Ned Kelly, mate.
Talk
there it
about
is. And this artwork is fantastic across the board.
Maybe you can talk about who was Ned from Australia, maybe.
Yeah.
You cheeky bugger.
This is what we learned about in school. So Ned Kelly is a bushranger, and he was an armed robber.
He's an outlaw, mate.
An outlaw in the 1800s.
The most famous outlaw, yeah.
And this thing was his helmet. He used to rob people wearing this shit.
He forged his own armor out of steel and robbed banks. And he couldn't get shot by the police.
Yeah.
And he robbed people in the street.
He went out
strong arm, robbed
glory. Blaze of
Probably
glory.
headbutted people with his steel helmet.
He was a bloody legend. It's really funny because that's what they talk about a lot. Why the hell did you guys call this beer Ned? Because that is awesome. I didn't even look
at it. So fantastic.
So cool.
we wanted to because we have a double IPA series that's due, single hop double IPA, and we wanted to expand a little bit, try more hop variations, like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 hops. And just brainstorming about an idea, but what can we make as a series? And someone suggested we should make a series about bandits, which we call bandits.
Oh.
So we have a series of bandits coming for double IPAs with 3 hops on. That's the first one of the series.
That's the first one, yeah.
No shit. That's awesome. Yo, I really should pay more attention to the labels because I didn't even notice that. That is so sick. I love that. So this is the first one in the new series.
That's the first one.
Yes. And what made you choose Ned Kelly?
Uncle Ned.
Uncle Ned.
Right.
That's so sick, man.
Very specific look or mask that's very recognizable. So it's like it's pretty fun. It's
so I think one of the first name who came to our restaurant manager, because we were brainstorming with a couple of people from the brewery, and our restaurant manager Jacob came up with the concept, and I think
That's cool.
he knew. He didn't know about Ned Kelly. He knew apparently about Ned Kelly, so he suggested that.
yeah.
You're like,
That's
I think he grew up also in Australia, maybe.
not sure.
No, I think so.
Or maybe.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised there's no galaxy in this one. You think this would be the one to have galaxy in it, with Uncle Ned on the front?
That's true. Doesn't
That's
even
awesome. I
have
love
a
that
galaxy.
though.
We don't have Australian ups
That's
inside.
true. That sucks.
So we got Sabro, Mosaic, and Belma.
I mean, I guess you could have put like all Australian hops, but then, like, if you're gonna next time, but if you were trying to
That
match
limits it.
all the hops, yeah, exactly, it's too hard. It'd be too hard to do that consistently.
Yeah.
So-
Too obvious.
Yeah, too obvious and too hard. So this has Sabro, Mosaic, and Belma. Belma's something you don't see too often. What's the deal with Belma? What's the deal with that hop?
Oh, man, interesting. So basically, like, I'm just gonna get 3 different ones. Mosaic, of course, gonna give you like a bit of piney and resinous flavor in the beer. Sabro, tropical and coconut, of course.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like more like red fruit and berry.
Okay.
So it's something that you can find like more in the aroma. And, so these 3 hops, I think I played with that. We are also doing like a milkshake series, and I played with these 3 hops to do like a milkshake with mango, and it was like just perfect and juicy. And I said like we can maybe like improve the recipe and start this new series with these 3 hops because it was like very nice. And like a lot of different flavor inside, like very nice, like super flavorful. And even like a bit complex, like to find like all this aroma and flavor, but very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Yo,
There's a lot to it. It goes on forever, man. The flavor doesn't die away at all.
It's nice and bold, really good mouthfeel.
Got some balls.
Yeah, man, it's definitely like super, like tons of flavor, but nice.
Tons.
I love that, like that chalkiness that you kind of get in New England. I always look for that. There's no like hop burn or anything.
No.
This is really, really fantastic.
I really enjoy how much the resin kind of sparks through, but it's not like it doesn't linger and it's not too much. It's just like the piney. It's like it's piney, resinous, sits around for a while, and just kind of tapers off. It's really nice because some people don't enjoy that sort of flavor to it. So it's balanced well again, like the other 2. So
but working on the body of the beer is also very important. We're trying to fix like some target on each different style and series, and so that's pretty like it's a lot of work, but we want to have like different body for our different style and of course different series. So we are working and paying up a lot of attention for this kind of detail because it's I think it's the body is also very like it's a big part of the enjoying a beer. So you have to taste the flavor, but also the body is super important. So,
yeah, basically all our double dry hop IPAs have a rather high specific gravity, and except Juice Bug, that's just like a regular IPA, but our double dry hop one are targeting like a 10-16, 10-15 at least. So
Yeah, this one is a bit higher, so we want to play with the body of the beer. It's I think very important.
No, this is great, guys. I really like it. Ben, you were touching on the milkshakes. That was something I was thinking about earlier. Is that you guys were one of the first breweries, I would argue, in Ontario to really like move towards the milkshake IPA trend. I want to say you guys were on top of it back in 2017. Is that true?
Yeah, no, it's fun. So I came up with a recipe from a homebrew, basically, and we try a small batch here, Stéphane, and at the time Shazad say, oh, it's a good product, let's do it, and we did a huge ton of different variation. From mango to peach to vanilla, chocolate, and like all the fruit that you can basically find. Like every month was a different fruit and flavor.
Yeah.
Then like a small break, like for a year, and since I came back, I say, okay, let's go. I'm back. We have to redo the series. I improve the recipe, and like I think it's gonna be the third batch since I'm here. But we did like a mango, something mango, like people are like just craving, like asking for it, because not too many breweries currently are doing are brewing this style anymore. It's pretty rare. I think there is maybe 2 or 3 in Ontario doing that. We say like maybe Flying Monkeys doing that, and Bellwoods. But like very interesting style. I love to work with fruit, with flavor. Of course, also there is lactose to give like a nice body, and
Yes, Team Lactose.
also we changed also in the meantime. I think we improved quite a lot the dry hopping process.
Yes.
And now the milkshake IPAs are really like almost double dry hopped IPAs. Like, so they have a lot of hops. That's a double dry hopped IPA.
There is a lot of hops too, and just huge ton of fruit and body, and I'm playing also like in the recipe with the haziness. We're using pectin also, very important. So it's pretty hard, like a lot of stuff to manage, like very like pay attention to the temperature, the amount of lactose and pectin, but very interesting style. It's like very like a dessert beer, to be honest, very fruity, big body. So, but it's good. People really like it. They always ask for it, and I think the new one's gonna be I think we have a peach mango, but we're gonna change for next time. We're gonna do like a spicy pineapple cayenne. So I want to try that.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
Why do you guys think that, like, because milkshake IPAs, when they came to Canada, I think in early 2017, and then they were popping for a while. Like that was like my shit for the longest time. And then I feel like they kind of like, they used to get people really mad. People were pissed about milkshake IPAs because of the lactose and all this
Having
stuff.
fun beers.
Yeah, like like everyone was just being like fun police about them. So we started a Twitter account called Team Lactose just to talk about lactose beers and promote it. And we post you guys a lot because you guys always do fantastic milkshakes. And then I feel like over the last, I don't know, year or so, maybe, they kind of slowed down a bit. My only thought of that was it was the smoothie sours that kind of took over because they're more intense. Because before that, like, milkshake IPAs were always really fruity, really thick. Like, they were intense. But now it feels like the smoothies were taking over. But I want to see milkshakes back. Like, why do you
want a
guys
resurgence?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you guys think that maybe people weren't, like, that not even people weren't asking for it, because I think they were, but why do you think breweries stopped making them? And you guys stopped making them, I guess, because you left then, but, like, overall, like, what do you guys think happened there?
No, honestly, I don't know, because honestly, people like it.
Yeah.
People keep. Personally, it's not my job. But to be honest, I like milkshake. I have to say. But even when I'm doing the day, I'm in the bottle shop. When we relaunched the milkshake IPA, people kept asking about it, more than any beer, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm also managing like delivery and everywhere, and it's like when I'm placing, like seeing the order and everything, it's like every like package, every order, like milkshake. So I think like I think breweries are like following trends. We had like also I don't know if you remember, but 2 years ago, like the Brute IPA, which like not everybody like
No one is asking
no
about
one
it.
is no one is doing it anymore. So I think breweries are following the trend. Like now, as you say, like maybe we have like like this new trend like marshmallow sour IPA with spice and stuff like so.
That we may make too.
Maybe we're gonna make it soon, yeah, that's true. But like I think it's just a trend, and it's just maybe like we had like one of the best recipe in town, and people are just asking for it. So, and we're doing it for. So we are just doing it for them, and we love to brew this style, and I know our customers love it. So why not? I want to keep it, and let's do it. So yeah.
I love it. I reckon it sounds more like a summer thing, I guess, too, right? Like people want those fruity type of beers for the summer. Yeah. Is that the interest, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Even if we're doing like we are trying to work with like seasonal fruit, of course, but yeah, it's also like part of a fruity beer that because we are mostly like have IPA, we don't put fruit in our IPA. We have like sour stories also. But other than that, we don't have like too much fruit in our beer, so I think it's also like a nice style to play with the fruit and everybody like fruit in beer, like especially in summertime or like for dessert beer. So yeah, it's like we need to make beer for everyone and for every specific time. So yeah.
Yeah, now that makes sense. Speaking of summertime. Shouts to Juan. Juan is a legend. Juan is takes care of the Bandit social media. Such a great dude. Hey, there he is. Hey. Juan needs a round of applause right there. Hey. He was just mentioning earlier that there's good news in Ontario, or at least Toronto, in that you guys are opening your patio tomorrow, which is crazy because we haven't had breweries open in Montreal. I reckon since like September or October. So even like going to a place like that is out of my mind. What's happening out there now? What's the deal?
I know we learned about it today, like 2 hours ago. 3 hours ago. So, but it's good. We still have our our chef in house, our restaurant manager in house every day. So we're going to reopen a very cautious way, try to. Yeah, in a safe way, in a reasonable way.
Yeah. But I mean, like you're allowed to.
And is this for like for breweries and restaurants with actual?
No, we should be okay to reopen. But in the meantime, we're also like doing a bit of renovation, trying to improve like our patio, make it like even better than before. I don't know if Stéphane wants to talk about. I think he's the guy.
Yeah, no, we're trying to make it. More weatherproof, and so we're trying to make a couple of small changes on the patio to be able to use it a bit more than what we do right now. So yeah, people will see. It's going to be nice.
It's going to be ready maybe in a month. Yeah. Oh, there is one. It's done.
Ross is coming.
Ross is coming. Oh, but look, there is nothing. No, there is nothing.
Oh, what do you mean? The comment?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Ross.
Sorry, we lost the connection.
Oh, okay. Are we back? We good?
We're back.
We're back. Okay. So Tiffany's saying Juan is the best. Yeah. Everyone loves Juan. God damn it. No, you were saying. Sorry.
No,
I was just saying with the breweries and the restaurants with an actual designated patio area, is it just you guys that are open? Because is that not the there's another set of rules for other restaurants to have patios open. Is this for just designated areas that you have on your property? Every patio is allowed to open that has their own.
Yeah, we don't know.
We just saw patio are allowed to open tomorrow. That's pretty much
a couple hours ago. We don't know the specifics. So, I don't. Honestly.
I know it's going to be a nice weekend here. It's going to be sunny, it's going to be warm.
Exactly, so, yeah. I might have to come down for a beer tomorrow, mate.
They want to meet, they want to have a beer. And we're just doing our best. We're going to probably work all night and all the morning tomorrow to be ready. But we just want to please our customer. And it's it's very important for us. So
And stay safe.
Of course. Yeah. So keep all the rules and the distanciation. But yeah, we just we want to open to. Because we're also like receiving a lot of phone call and email already to say like, hey, can I book a table for tomorrow?
Even in the past week or 2 weeks, can I?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
People are excited.
we'll see how it goes. We don't have too much information, but we'll be open tomorrow from noon to 8. So if you want to join us.
Hey, that's what I want to hear. Check out the Bandit
Yeah, the
social.
sun's going to be shining, mate. So
Yes. So
Yes.
should we? I don't want to keep pushing the beers along, but I want to make sure that we still finish on time and get through as many. So which one are we doing next, boys?
I think we're a bit flexible too. I guess one won't shut off the connection at 10:30.
Yeah, we can go a little bit longer if we need to.
Okay.
But now
We're gonna go with the element.
Element.
So,
Yes, that's the
all right,
wild.
I'll grab it.
Element. Far right. Perfect. So this was one of the that came out of one of the barrels behind you there. There we go. Look at that. Very cool label. So this is Elements number 7, a barrel-aged wild ale with cherries.
yes.
It's patio and cherries.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Ooh. What kind of cherry? Oh my god. What kind of cherries?
I think we
Sour
use
cherry.
white sour cherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very pretty color.
So it's bottle condition, so you should find some yeast at the end.
Love it. Whew. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
take a photo. Whew.
In the small, you can have like, as Stéphane likes to say, like the blue cheese coming
Blue
through.
cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
blue cheese on the nose.
Yeah,
Very-
blue
very
cheese on the
French.
Oh
nose.
my goodness.
Very French, exactly. We
Wow.
love to
Okay.
put blue cheese on our
So this is when you're saying Elements number 7. This is it's like you're doing different blends of the barrels with different fruits, and there's obviously a whole bunch of them that you've done.
Correct.
Yeah, tell
Elements.
us.
The elements is just basically a blend of barrels that can be anything, but that goes so far mostly a blend of beers, but elements because of like a blending elements.
I like it.
So yeah, it's basically a blend of different barrel, and sometimes also with adjunct like this one with the white sour cherry. So yeah, this one was bottle condition like I think end of the year.
Okay.
So pretty nice carbonation, nice body, nice flavor.
Color.
Slightly sour.
It's quite sour.
It's
What?
quite a bright red color
Yeah.
for. It's amazing how much that comes through. It's beautiful. I'll can't wait to see that in the sunshine.
Mm.
Yeah.
Woo.
So very complex.
Fantastic! Wow.
Damn.
This
There's so
patio is
much going
coming funkiness is coming through also.
Yeah.
Very complex beer, nice flavor, like something that you have to sip like very slowly and really enjoy every sip of it. It's it's very
It's like
nice.
wine. It's like a wine for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's only
Goodness.
6.4%.
So yeah, Elements it's part of a series of barrel age. We have different, so we're gonna try after the Longwave. We have also the Meadow. Meadow is usually also with fruit, but only blending the same style. Then we have the Hibernator, which is imperial stout that we're using mostly like in like end of the year, so like for like the holiday time. We're gonna have like 2-3 new series, like Nimzo.
Nimzo.
Yeah. Nimzo is gonna be new. We're gonna have Le Duc. Le Duc is gonna be part of a Flanders series, so only like Flanders, so part of the Belgium French.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're trying also to differentiate beer a little bit because if we notice that if people we don't set a sour on let's say elements like a barrel age blend, could be like any kind of blend, and people don't like sour, they say okay, they don't like it, and so we are trying to be more specific about what taste customers can expect. So yeah, just sour should be like, it should sour, I should say quite obviously that it's sour.
Yeah, you have to say we maybe a mistake with the Longwave. Like we start to do like a quad, because Longwave basically we're gonna talk about that after. But we want to keep like the number of the barrel, so each barrel has a number, and we want to say like single barrel, no adjunct and straight, and put just the number of the barrel on the label.
Okay.
So for example, it's a barrel 20, we're gonna put like Longwave 20.1, so first version of the barrel 20. But so it can be like a quad or a barley wine or a golden sour, and people who are coming back a month after to have a new Longwave, like with a different number, they're gonna be a bit lost, like they're gonna think like it's the same style as before, but basically we went from a sour to a barley wine, and it's kind of a bit confusing. So that's why we want to have like specific like label and name for like different style now that we're gonna make. So it's gonna be like more simple, and at least like customers gonna be like, okay, I know this is sour, this is not, because this kind of beer also like it's very specific. Like it's I won't say it's not for everybody. I wish that everybody can love this.
Sure, if you don't like sour beers, that's you.
But yeah, it's very complex, very something that. Very different, like some stuff that you can order in a regular place. So yeah, it's you have to specify, and that's why also we are paying a lot of attention to like our bottle staff to train them, and they try the beer and explain to the customer. It's very important to be on the same page everywhere. So yeah,
this is definitely an advanced person's beer. You can't play around with this one. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that like chewy mouthfeel. I don't know how else to describe it, but that I love that in a barrel-aged sour, that it feels like you're gonna like, you can just feel it all across your mouth, and it's like a nice balance.
Blue cheese.
Hey,
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese in the mouth.
It's all blue cheese all around my teeth and gums. Yeah,
whole way through.
Yeah, it's just like nice and funky. Like the did you say it was sour cherries or wild cherries?
Wild sour cherry. Yeah.
Wild sour cherries. I was going to make sure I take that note correctly then. So I'm definitely getting a lot of the, it's a little bit of earthiness that comes from that. Go on, Nosh.
It makes you kind of gleek and like salivate, because there's so much like juiciness and acidity to it, but it kind of makes you salivate in a nice way. It's like, oh shit, like it makes your tongue get excited.
Yes.
You know?
Acidity, that's
it's insane. Mad levels to it.
But it's like,
but it's a nice acidity. It's not spiky. It's like it's inviting. It's kind of got that zing to it, but then it tapers off to flavor.
Yes,
it's great.
That's a great way to describe it. I feel like it's definitely acidic, but it's not over the top. And I feel like you could. This is a type of beer that maybe on paper is kind of scary for people, but like if you gave this to like a white wine drinker, they would be like, "What the fuck?
I love it.
This is amazing!" Like.
This is you probably blow their mind.
Yeah, I really think
such similarities to wine. Yeah,
this is great.
Like red for sure.
In age like for I think it was 7 months in a Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon. That's it. I don't remember. Yeah.
So wine barrels.
Yeah, wine barrel. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So do you feel like some of those wine characters are coming through? Maybe it's a little bit tannic.
Yeah, for sure, a bit tannic. I would say like also slightly a bit hockey.
You know what? It's level of acidity. It's tough too.
It's also tough, but it's here. I remember before adding the cherry, like it was like much more hockey and tannic for sure. But with the time, of course, cherry and the sourness is taking over everything. So, but it's very enjoyable. Like if you're like into sour beer and funky beer, it's just perfect. So.
Yeah, man, this is really good.
Also, most often for all the beer that have a lot of bacteria in them, like some red imperial, we don't use the third generation of barrels. We want to pick up mostly the taste, the flavor of the spirit of the wine before. So in a way,
Nice.
if you do a lot of bacteria, it's going to be like the second and third generation. It will pick up less of the initial liquid flavor and from the oak too. So but it's not you want to highlight the sourness and the bacteria flavor.
I'm definitely not getting too much oak, but I do love the idea that a beer that's a wild sour cherry goes into Pinot or whatever it was, like red wine barrels. It makes so much sense. It's perfect. I love that. This is fantastic, guys. I really feel
All those
like,
flavors play together really nicely.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I didn't realize how good you guys were with this with the barrel
program
aged stuff. I feel like, do you feel like you guys are underrated in this world as far as like barrel aged beer is concerned? God damn it, that's what we're here for. We're letting people know.
No question.
Thank you.
No, this is brilliant, man. This is like really, really great. Like everything about this is fantastic. And I just gave some to Tiff, who's our producer, and she's a big, she's a wine content creator as well. And she's like, yo, like this is like her jam. And it's like it's beautiful. It's really well done. I feel like Juan might even remember. Juan, did we drink any barrel aged beers back in 2018?
We had a quad, didn't we? Was that barrel aged?
Sure.
Yeah. I think you had the quad. Yeah, I think you may have had the quad.
Okay, but it was like you guys weren't doing.
No, it's gonna be barleywine. It tastes
Yeah, so like that's like it's very, very cool to see, even from back then, like you said, you had 8 barrels, now to 55, and tasting this quality of barrel aged sour. It's very, very cool, guys. So I feel like you guys are really known for the milkshake. I feel like you guys definitely got a lot of popularity, I guess, because of that. Also, your New England IPAs are fantastic. It's really, you guys are really owning. You guys are, for people who don't know, like you guys are in an area of Toronto called Roncesvalles, which is like there's not really any other breweries around there. You guys are the only one, right?
Oh yeah, basically like we have I don't know if we can say them, but we have Anderson also like close to us. Then like near us is gonna be
Plenty of Halo a bit further.
Burdock.
Indie.
Okay.
Yeah, Halo Burdock, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are just outside of the junction. Are you guys in the junction, or it's like just next to, right? Next to,
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so like you guys
South
are
of it, yeah.
the only one in that area and stuff. So it's very cool to see that, and you guys started in what year? Was it 2016 or 15?
2016.
16.
16.
15?
16, sorry.
16. Okay. Says. Okay.
Then he says it.
Wow, so c'est bon là. Wow. So the makes me feel like I'm at home now, with the French. I love it. No, it's really cool to see. I mean, look, that this 5 years. You guys must be coming up on 5 years. Have you guys 5-year anniversary soon?
Are we doing something?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's popping?
Juan has the answers.
Well, like depending on the COVID situation, of course. So
It's kind of weird to celebrate an anniversary in the middle of
we don't want to like bring a big party during this time, and we love to do that, of course, but it's not safe to do it. So
we'll have a new beer.
We're gonna have a new beer. We're gonna try to have like a specific menu, so like
have a safe celebration.
But yeah, like it's frustrating because we love to like have like 200 people here and drinking and enjoying and have a good time, of course. But we both know that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. So so we're working on. We're gonna do like for sure like a new beer release, a specific like a special 5 years. The chef is gonna do something depending also the COVID situation. If we can do like maybe a pop-up or like something like that, and we're gonna also offer like some stuff for like our customer, like who are like register on like on the website, like the newsletter, so like some discount and everything like that. So for them, but it's hard to plan during this time, of course. So
Yeah. When is the 5 years? Is it the summer?
It's mid-April.
5 years, April.
Oh shit, April. Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like in a
Real
month.
soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we can open, we're gonna have like a new patio for them. There's gonna be a nice gift.
It goes well.
Yeah.
A whole brand new patio.
Exactly. That's gonna be for
Okay. So that's pretty dope that you're able to do that. At least you can do some beer releases and stuff anyway. Have you guys been able to, I don't want to go on too much about the COVID stuff, but obviously everybody had to pivot and do some changes. Were you able to, because you have a kitchen, were you able to sell beer to go and food to go and stuff like that? Yeah.
I can go. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, so Stéphane said, we still have our chef in the house. So
Nice.
we're still working, of course, with like delivery company, also like pickup regarding the food and for the beer. So yeah, like the bottle shop is still open. We're doing 7 days a week, like GTA, Toronto delivery. And also like twice a week long delivery. So like for example, this week we went to the Barrie region and Hamilton. Next week we're going to Ottawa. So if people from Ottawa are listening to us, we're coming to you next week. Ottawa, Kingston, and Belleville actually. And so yeah, that was the plan. So yeah, bottle shop delivery, ground shipping, of course. And yeah, during the maximum, of course, we're not kegging anymore. We are just focusing on canning and bottling. So, and also like we're also like selling like quite a lot to some licensee outside of Toronto. So asking like our beer, like in Ottawa, in Sudbury, kind of everywhere in Ontario. So that's very interesting and very exciting too. So,
I really like that you guys are doing that. Like, it's not really happening here in Quebec. That you guys are able, different licensees, so like the beer bars and stuff like that, are able to buy beers from breweries and then sell the packaged beer on to customers to keep them going. So it keeps the breweries going, it keeps the licensees going. In the meantime, I think that's just such a really cool program that Ontario did. And particularly, like, I got a good one of our part of BAOS, Nathan does beer. He's our blogger and he's in Ottawa. So he's been able, I know he's had a lot of beers that you guys have done. I think because like Dominion City does it. I think different places out there and Bar Lupulus are selling a lot of, like, they're bringing the Toronto breweries up there as well. Like, and I think that's really cool because it just allows different people to get a taste of something different.
Access to it.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and it keeps the breweries in people's minds, through all of this until they can travel again or have access on tap and stuff like that. So it's very cool. I think that's it's kind of exciting. It's like, when life is pretty not exciting anymore, the most exciting shit is getting beer from somewhere else you can't normally get beer from.
Delivered to your door is the most exciting part.
Yeah. And that
it's very exciting. It's of course a lot of work. We're a big team of delivery, and but it's very exciting because we are receiving a lot of good review and people are like very happy customers. So we are working for that too, like make them happy, and that's make us like give it to me and the team like a lot of happiness and motivation. So it's very important also. Because we're also like making beer for customer and of course like the beer that we like, but we also want to be there, to be here for them. So yeah, it's very, very nice to hear that people say, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, the service is amazing, the beer are great," and so yeah, it's give you like a goosebump. It's nice. I like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, that makes me happy, and it's really cool. Yeah, I think it's just it's a small thing in a time when everybody doesn't really know what's going on. To be able to have access to something as maybe inconsequential as beer really is a big thing for a lot of people. So it's cool that you guys are making sure that you're traveling to different places, making sure that people at Barrie and Ottawa and different places have access to your stuff, because
it's definitely a nice way to treat yourself.
100%. I think it's super.
I wish we can in Montreal, but it's a bit tricky. But maybe
I wish we could.
maybe
Yo,
one
it's
day.
I wish it wasn't. Do you know what I found out recently? And I was talking to Juan about this. So Canada federally passed a legislation that everybody in Canada, all the provinces, are legally allowed to ship beer between every province. But the problem is, what'd you say? What was that?
No, go ahead.
No, it was the tax code. Basically, it's the tax code that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because say if Ontario wants to ship beers to Quebec and vice versa, they need to have a tax agreement. But if Ontario wants to send it to BC, they have to have a tax agreement. Like every province has to have an agreement with the other province as to how it works. So it's not illegal.
Probably do because it's allowed. We could, I think, deliver to Manitoba or some provinces. You could do it, but not Quebec and Ontario.
No, they make it. Do you know what? It's Quebec's fault. The SAQ has a 12-week. Basically, they want to kill your IPAs. They want to keep this bad boy.
Make sure they die.
Exactly. They want to keep it in a hot warehouse for 12 weeks, so that it dies before it gets anywhere. It's just such a
work.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous and unthoughtful. Like, and do you know what I've also found out over COVID, because we were researching it? One of the problems is it's the legislation was made in 1928 that they're following. It's like the Alcohol and Something Act of 1928, which kind of says it all, isn't it? Like, it's so ridiculous to me that that something from the 20s, damn near 100 years ago, is dictating how we distribute alcohol in our country today.
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's infuriating, especially at a time when everybody's hurting. Everyone's going through tough times.
And everything's digital. It's so easy to do those subtractions, additions, conversions between the provinces. That's not that difficult to figure out, mate. Bunch of ones and zeros, get it done.
Right. And like, it's just like, who gives a fuck? Just figure it out. Exactly. Just figure it out.
Also that.
And like, let businesses do what it takes to survive. If somebody in New Brunswick wants to buy Bandit beer, then Bandit should be allowed to sell it to them. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I understand the international laws, that's a whole other thing, but within our country, it's like, because I look at this, we were talking about Australia, I look at Australia, and they can do it. There's this one company in Sydney, and we're from Melbourne, and my cousin did something for me, and I wanted to pay him back in beer. He helped us out, so I wanted to send him some beer. So I went to a website that sells beer in Sydney, and I just picked a bunch of beer and sent it to him in Melbourne. And they just delivered it to his doorstep. And the beer that I chose was from all over the country, because this beer store in Sydney got stuff from everywhere. So it's
the distribution,
yeah, man, it's
crazy.
It's kind of infuriating.
I know.
Anyway,
yeah,
on that note,
from Europe, we know that even in France, like,
same
you can
thing.
do what you want. Yeah, same thing.
We were talking a couple of weeks ago to Jacob, our restaurant manager, because he's from Ottawa, and he did a delivery in Ottawa, like the first delivery we did in Ottawa. It's kind of thinking, we should go to Vancouver, so we would stop in Winnipeg, go to Edmonton. It would be so great, and then we found, we cannot do that, it's illegal. But we would do it otherwise. It would be so fun having a corner with a huge truck, and you just go to
and just drop it all off. I mean, that's one way to do it. I just think it's better if you've got a customer in Vancouver who wants to pay you and will pay the shipping, then you should be allowed to sell them that beer. That's all.
People are asking, we're receiving like email like, hey, can you ship to Vancouver? And it's sad to say no, because unfortunately it is what it is.
It sucks because they would have heard of your stuff and they want your beer over there, but then you can't sell it. It's ridiculous. Should we do the barley wine?
Let's do it.
Buddy.
Sure.
All right, barley wine. We're gonna finish it after. Do you want to go first?
Oh, strength.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom in a second. So, tell us about this bad boy. So, is this a barrel-aged barley wine?
Barley wine barrel aged, yeah.
Yes. What kind of barrels?
Yeah, so it was like aged for like let me check. I don't remember this one.
And this is Longwave,
Yeah, it was
right?
like 8 months. Yeah,
8 months.
In a new
8 months in a new barrel of bourbon, and yeah, it was a bottle, of course, bottle condition again.
Okay.
So barley wine, just to explain it quickly, the style, it's something like who's gonna give you like fruit cake, caramel, that fig flavor, with also like bitterness at the end because it's the style wants it like that. So very also like complex. Of course, we are going like not to a sour product, but more like something like more stronger also in alcohol. So this one is like 10%, if I remember.
Okay. 10.
Oh, 11.5 even. So yeah, 11.5.
Jesus.
So nice, nice dress. I don't know.
We're
Very
gonna
nice
grab it.
color.
Keep talking about it. Keep talking.
And yeah, something like very like on the fruit cake and the caramel taste like yeah, definitely.
That is insane. It's fantastic,
no,
fluffy head, mate. That's the head stuck around for a while. Is that fairly carbonated, or is that just like?
Yeah,
well condition.
but
I think it's very low side of carbonation.
Yeah, I think I aimed this one for
Right.
like 2.3. 2.3 it's more on the low side for like I think for this style of beer you don't want to be too much carbonated. You want to be like something like
Right.
between low and medium carbonation. But yeah, very intense.
Yes.
Yeah, like nice head, like stays like it's
Exactly. Yeah. Great head retention. It looks like nice and fluffy, like pillowy, and then super floral. A lot of like, is it bourbon barrels you have them aged in?
bourbon barrel, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Wow.
it's
It's
like,
bourbon barrel. Yeah. Wow.
but like
Punches
a lot
you in the
of,
face or in the nose.
like the fig and the date, like I don't know, date.
That is exceptional. Wow. That is so bold.
Exactly, but also yeah.
It's nicely malty though. Like it, how much malt would you put in something like this? Like it's not obviously not too hoppy. It's more like how much.
Obviously,
yeah,
so
malt would go into that.
We use almost no sugar adjunct, so
no,
we just only more.
Only
Even
malt.
if imperial IPA, it's just
it's just
don't add any
we're
sugar.
not adding any sugar on any recipe except the lactose for the milkshake, but which is different, of course, obviously. But
Right.
for this kind of beer, like, so with the system that we have, we can go like maximum like 425, 450 kilogram of malt. So, and instead of brewing like 1200 liter, of course, we're brewing like
Right.
maybe 800 with this kind of recipe because it's a long boil. And we are I'm using also like just like Maris water for this recipe. I want to just like to stick to the original recipe of barley wine, and of course like a bit of bitterness, but it's a bit mellow now with the age, with the time, sorry. And but yeah, like the flavor like from like the bourbon barrel like are just amazing. Like
There's some hazelnut too. I think it's not hazelnut.
Yeah, hazelnut
Yeah,
caramel kind of notes, very nutty and woody, but in a nice
but like
way.
the feel of the dates are just oh, it's crazy. Yes, it's one of my favorite beer here. So.
And it's actually not very boozy at all for 11 and a smidge. That is incredibly smooth.
For 11.5, it's pretty
Yeah.
drinking. So yeah.
Is
That's
it
also never use
That is
sugar.
deceptively bad.
is it actually 11.5?
11.5. Yeah.
Okay. You know how like every big beer is 11.
No, but I'm paying a lot of attention, like taking the gravity. I think the
11.7?
I think it's 11.9.
Or maybe 11.9. Okay.
Yeah. Or the tax record or something. I
The
don't
tax
know.
law, 11.9.
It's a bad beer.
I love it. I feel like barley wine is one of those styles where you love it, not hate it. You love it or you don't type of thing. The people who love barley wine, like fucking love barley wine. Like the barley wine is life hashtag and stuff. I don't think we really drink it too much on this on the podcast or on the channel because it's just not something that I particularly drink a lot. So I'm actually
Or come across often.
or not that often. No, I find
Not everybody
that-
does these. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Why did you guys decide to do a beer like this?
Why? I think it's a good style to go in a bar. To be honest, like it's a strong beer, good body, and I think you can like take also like all the flavor of the barrel like pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a stout. It's not like a golden ale. So it's something like I won't say between, but it's something like I like. And I just love like what you can find inside, like this flavor of fruit cake and like very aromatic flavor, and I think it's a good barrel. I love like barley wine, like not aged also, but I think like when you age this kind of beer, this style, it's just like 10 times better. So yeah.
I always I don't remember if I like them or not because I never have them. Yo, this is right. You're right. You got that fruit cake. There's like a touch of the bourbon is not like overwhelming, but it's right in there. It's really.
This is 100% the best barley wine I've ever had. I swear, everyone else maybe want to like have a couple sips and stop. This is really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is.
Sorry to jump in for there, but that was like this is so
please.
good. Like this.
Talk about
It's
it.
like you said before. It's the right amount of carbonation. It's nice and soft. It's got that caramelly, cakey, kind of fruity. It's warming. I would love this on a. I mean, it's kind of cold still. It's not exactly spring, but this is a great fall, winter, nighttime post dinner sipper with a friend. This is like something you can share easily because of the percentage. It's an acute small bottle, so it's not like too intense to have by yourself. So this is great. Love it.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like after a nice dinner to digest, also it's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
because it's a slow sipper.
Yeah.
And there's so many flavors and layers to it, so it's great.
I'm liking this way more than I thought I would. I just really,
Same.
in my head, I'm like, I don't like barley wines, but it's been so long since I've had one that I don't remember. So this is like, it's like a nice, everything you described, Brad, is perfect. I like the carbonation. I wasn't sure if it's supposed to be smooth or kind of like, it's like stuff that'll make you burp. Like I didn't realize, like I always think of these things as these big, heavy beers, but this isn't heavy. That's really what it is.
Yeah, there was a lot of head that came in off the pour, and that made me think there was lots of carbonation in the beer, but it's like it kind of was fluffy and it kind of stayed around for a while. I'm like, and then it was so soft on the palate, so that's actually really a nice surprise. Was like it looked like it was going to be bubbly as hell all the way through, so that was great.
What's the?
Yeah, no, it's great beer. No, but great beer also. I like to compare it like I don't know. I don't know why. But I like to compare also this beer like a bit of a cognac style beer. Like I like
Ooh.
this fact.
Yeah,
lot
balloon
of
glass.
flavor. So yeah, perfect glass for that.
No,
There you go.
It's definitely complex and much smoother than the ABV suggests. Like it's way too easy to drink for this ABV.
So true.
Definitely a good sharer. What's the general reception to this type of style in the 2021 market? How do people feel about a barley wine, and who's into this type of thing?
If you look at the Entap reviews, it's horrible.
Yeah. Oh no, I think the Intap review are a bit like okay. They don't say good because the previous Longwave that we have was like a gozer, tequila gozer.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure people really like it. It was like very like fruity, lavender, floral taste. And I'm pretty sure they came back for this style, and they had this like barley wine after, and they were thinking it was the same style, the same beer, and they say like, "What the hell is that?"
That's okay. Did you see the top reviews for this beer? it's like 3.5 also.
Yeah, and I don't understand like it's because we made like also like a quad as the first release, which is, to be honest, not too far like in terms of like flavor and aroma. Of course, it's different, but like we're on the same scale of style, and like I think we got like 4.2, like one of the
Something like that. Yeah.
one of the best like, on tap reviews.
They are not too different.
Yeah, and they are not too different as a style, and I don't know, like, but because the goza, tequila goza went between these two, and I'm pretty sure that's why we changed the label and changed the name, and I think it was a bit of confusion for our customer, but also maybe like, as you say, like, barley wine is also very specific. It's not for everyone.
It's also some people don't like bitterness. It's true, like the main difference between the quad and this one, that's the bitterness.
The quad is
way more bitter.
Yeah,
And
right. Even if
it's way less than it used to be in the barrel and at the very beginning.
It's more mellow now, and but yeah, it's just a style like a bit more complex, I would say. So, and yeah, I think we made this mistake, and it won't happen again. But honestly, it's a good beer, and just put 5 stars on that.
That's a nice mistake you got there, mate. I think the Longwave and the Elements kind of go into the higher tier of beers that you have, and also for the advanced drinker. So I think it actually kind of has its own little position on the shelf for people that want something either, you know, that are a mid-level drinker that are new to the journey, and they want something more advanced. So like there's a good spot for those on the shelf. There's no reason for them to not exist. Like having a really complex but easy to drink barley wine is something that not many people have in Toronto, especially. So that's like a sick thing to kind of advance a medium drinker, but please an advanced drinker. So that's a good thing to have, I think.
Yeah.
No, definitely, yeah. Regardless of review, we'll make it again. No,
there is already another one in the barrel. So sorry, guys, but probably for winter time we got barley wine. So for sure.
Are you saying you have no more? Are you still making barley wine then?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I made one like I think a month ago. I put that in a barrel like 2 weeks ago. So
nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be ready for winter. Perfect time to release it, and I changed the recipe a bit. Changed my hops to have something a bit different. I put that in a new barrel, fresh bourbon barrel. So never used before. So
nice.
It's gonna be very exciting. Yeah.
I love that. So like every time people have it, it's going to be a completely different beer. So
Definitely.
Yeah. So they could keep it and age it for a bit if they want, or they could drink it fresh.
Yeah, and this kind of beer you can definitely age it, and like you can buy it now and enjoy like in 6 months. I would say it's still great. So
this beer,
there is no issue.
No issue. Like, but it's like a strong beer in a spirit barrel, so there's no you can keep it forever.
Right. So they could keep it for years. They could technically keep it for years, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like wine, basically.
Yeah.
It probably won't change much over time, so it won't get any better, I imagine, over time. So there's no bacteria in it. It's like a clean beer in a spirit barrel. It wouldn't change too much over time.
Yeah. No, that's interesting though. I think a lot of people. I would imagine, like, I've ended up with the cellar of beers by just getting too much stuff at once, and then you're like, oh, I'll drink that soon, and then all of a sudden, you've got
2 Christmases passed.
Exactly, you've got closets and cupboards full of. Yeah, the cellar, but it's kind of cool though, because like. Sorry.
This beer.
It won't get worse.
Exactly.
That's the thing,
so you're safe, right?
Perfect. Yeah, it'll preserve. Yeah.
It won't get much better, but it won't get worse.
But I think that's interesting because if you
that's a good point.
Exactly. But if that's a great point. It won't get worse. If someone bought this beer now, and then the one that you have, and they'll buy that in the winter, I mean, you can crack these side by side, and you have one that's like a year old.
You can do
and
a
have one
vertical.
that's fresh. Exactly, you do a bit of a vertical, and
Let's go.
I mean, that's fascinating. I've only done it a couple of times, but verticals are just such an interesting way to kind of choose, even if it's like, you know, different barrels and blah, 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 but from the same brewery, just to see how different ingredients change a beer. And it allows people to learn a bit more about the style, particularly something as complex and maybe is not as common as a barley wine that, you know, maybe doesn't get the respect it deserves amongst the people who want hazy IPAs and smoothie sours and shit, you know.
That's a good point.
I really I appreciate that in a time where, like, if you buy a hazy IPA, you know, you've got 2 to 4 weeks really to kind of get it as fresh as possible, but you can put this barley wine in the closet for a year and she's good to go.
Yeah, no, I think
Mature
also,
beer.
like, I won't say we have like issue, but sometimes people are asking like if we can age this beer or if they're buying like I remember in Christmas time they said like in November, oh, I'm gonna buy like this IPA to my brother or sister for Christmas time, and can I age it? Can you drink like after? You know, like IPA, like it's the fresher the better, of course. And I think it's also like a question of education. Like we're also here like to make beer and sell it, of course, but I think we're also here to educate people. Like when I'm coming, like to explain them, like IPA you cannot age. It's not something that you cannot keep for a long time because you want to have like the fresher of the hops, everything in the beer, and I think that education in beer it's also like part of our job because it's very important. Because if like people are coming back to us and say, okay, I can take this beer and drinking in 6 months an IPA, they will say like, hey, this is disgusting, but yeah, it's also our job to say like, no, like you have to drink it now or like in a few weeks, and otherwise you won't enjoy it. And education is also a big part of our job too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Do you guys put like drink fresh, you know, on the cans of the ones that
Your first one,
think,
Ned,
Ned is the
Ned is
first
the
one.
first one who gets that.
Yeah.
Ned is the
store cold, drink fresh, right here?
That's going to be a standard.
yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's on the Ned.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's a really good. I think that's a good thing to have on there because you're right. You know, I mean, a lot of people who are getting into beer now, and I talked about this to my beer nerd friends. People like all of us who have been into beer for a while. You know, we did the usual. We got into it from macro lagers, and you drink European lagers and fucking
See the difference in
porters and
wow.
stouts and IPAs and blah blah blah. And you go, and then the Belgians and blah blah blah. There are some people in the last few years getting into beer just from New England IPAs. So it's like they don't go through the stages that we went through.
the journey.
So they don't go through the journey, or their journey is different than our journey.
It's super short.
It's shorter in that sense that they won't really get to touch everything. So I think there is more education to be delivered to some of the noobs than than some of the OGs, because it's just different, right? So it's great that breweries are sort of teaching people exactly how this needs to go and how to best take care of the beers. Because I remember when I first got into New England IPAs, I didn't know. I bought one of the first ones I had. I bought it off the shelf here in Montreal from a dépanneur, like a Le Trois Mousquetaires beer, and it was 2 or 3 weeks old and just kept on a warm shelf, and I didn't know. And I drank it. I'm like, oh, this is not so good. And my friend was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it needs to be like really fresh, and it can't be kept warm, because I told him how it was, and I'm like, oh, okay, because there's such a learning curve with all of these new styles. So it's good that you guys are proactively trying to, make sure that people know exactly what they get themselves into. So I love that. That's fantastic.
We just having someone, even for the customer who, look at Untap, for example. Have a customer who buys a beer and he drinks it a year after. Because you haven't made the beer in a year. It's a year after. And no, it's not really. I don't. Yeah, the review is probably not as good. But it's just too bad. How come you shouldn't drink this beer anymore? It's like it's a year old. It doesn't. And somebody's surprised. Okay, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 5, but It's not possible. After 1 year, it's going.
It's not the best.
So
but like
I imagine that would be people who probably just don't understand, how you're supposed to keep beer. So they would have kept a hazy IPA for a year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but what would you
Right.
know? If no one told you, how would you know that you can keep the beer?
No one told you. Yeah, true. Mm.
we made like 2 years ago. It doesn't exist anymore. And at some point, like this last week, we had like a review like for this beer. And I said, hey, it was made 2 years ago. Like.
Well, it's not the worst. If you keep an IPA for a year, and it's not the horrible review that you would expect.
No, for sure. But
still, it just sucks to have a beer that's
because
being drunk and reviewed a year after.
Yeah.
Even on social media, I see that sometimes. Sometimes people will post like a picture of a beer we haven't made in 3 years, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's kind of crazy, though, I guess, and that's
Crazy for sure.
Like, it's a lot, but that really shows that there's a lot of beer education that's required to the community, and that really falls on the breweries to be like, hey, so this is an India Pale Ale. You have to drink this within maybe 4 weeks tops, type of thing, to make sure it's better. So, like, people just don't think, because I think there's maybe like a particularly in cities like Toronto and Montreal, there's like a cool factor about breweries. So maybe people are
totally
buying,
hipster factor, yeah.
Exactly, and maybe people are buying gifts for people, and they'll give it to somebody because, like, yeah, this is from a local brewery. They're cool. They're in Roncesvalles. They're the only brewery in Roncesvalles, and they've got an amazing patio, and their beers are amazing, and their food is phenomenal, and their brewers are French and attractive. Like, you definitely going to need that. And people are giving it to people, and then they're not really sharing that information. They don't know. So I really feel like it's a beautiful thing that people want to support local businesses and drink the local beer, but I guess that's a part of that process because they've come from the world of buying 6 cases of Coors Light and leaving it in their garage for 5 years and then drinking
weeks on end.
No,
5 years.
Well, and it's probably fine.
You're right. It's probably fine. Store in a cool, dry place.
Exactly, in the sense of Coors Light, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not understanding.
Well, I think that there's a point of education at like the retail sector of every brewery. Like every single person that's in a window, in a shop, in a storefront, that even in quarantine times, they need to be educated enough to tell the customer, hey man, just so you know, this should be stored cold. Don't make sure you ride to the park and mess about for an hour and play with your mates and then go home with them hot in your bag. Like, make sure there's a lot of education that needs to be instilled or installed into the retail point of sale interaction because, some people don't do that. I've been to multiple breweries and they don't tell you that stuff. And I know that because of, experience, but like it should be said just in case because it's not always emphasized, and sometimes that can make a big difference to the impression of the brewery. If it's not kept right, then it's just not cool.
The same IPA, like after 2 weeks and 6 months, it's not the same thing. So
No.
Even before.
although I'm trying hard to reduce, but keep the DO level at a very minimum, but still, even if the DO level is like
it helps, but at some point, like after 3 months, it starts to change. So I always say like 2 months would be the maximum to drink an IPA.
For an IPA, I agree.
Totally.
And for people who don't know, DO is dissolved oxygen, so it's how much oxygen's in the beer that. Oxygen is the enemy of the enemy of
reactivates all the good ingredients. They start eating itself.
And it turns brown. And I also just want to prop you guys as well. I thought this was really fantastic. When we part of this podcast is drinking the same beers because it really makes us feel like we're in obviously I would much rather be sitting there with you guys and drinking the beers, but it isn't to be for the meantime. And the way we do the podcast, we make sure we're drinking all the same beers. And another package arrived. Like, so I got the package, and another one arrived. And I messaged Juan like, "Hey man, what's up with this one?" And he's like, "The beers are fresher. You need to make sure you have the freshest beer." And I'm like, "You're a fucking." I just think that
so
was
amazing.
I wanted to just give you guys props for that because I'm not. I don't really like old IPAs either. I'm not like big on that.
Nobody likes an old IPA.
Some people do,
Mhm.
strangely enough, but personally, I really prefer them fresh. And it was so important to you guys to make sure that this podcast was represented your products at the freshest as possible. And I just thought that was so cool because it's something that's very
Hats off.
important to me. So I wanted to just give you guys all props for that because I thought it was just like that's dedication to the process and to making sure that
And the brand as well.
yeah, just making sure.
Chuck a round of applause up there, buddy.
I'm gonna chuck a round of applause. That deserves a round. There we go. That's all the children right there. No, but like, you know, I feel like people don't understand the value of that, and I just thought that was so dope. That you guys were so cool to make sure that no, you can't have that one. I didn't even ask how old that was. It was probably 2 weeks old. Knowing you
It was
guys.
fresh.
And that was the cloud, and the cloud was spectacular. And I double checked. I thought maybe I had some of these beers. I hadn't had any of them. That's why I'm taking all the photos.
Same.
And I'm so damn impressed. We still have one more to go, and I want to wrap it up in a second because I want to make sure you guys have enough time to prepare the patio for tomorrow. I don't want to make you too tired. But no, I'm so impressed with all of this stuff. This stuff is like genuinely fan-fucking-tastic. You've
Agreed.
even kind of like converted me to barley wine. I'm looking forward to this warming up to room temperature and maybe having something sweet with it as like a dessert after.
Yep.
I'm so impressed. The final beer we are going to have this evening is an imperial stout with chocolate and raspberries. Is that correct?
Woo. I'm gonna grab that 1 sec.
Yeah, grab that. The Uber home is going to be helpful this evening, boys. So the Longwave is a single barrel as well. Now this is a tell us the last bottle. Thank you, baby. Tell us about this one. This one sounds phenomenal. I've been very excited for this one. I really love. Is this a pastry stout, Ben, or is this what would you consider?
Yeah. So the idea is to make. We had like 2 series of imperial stout. So we have like, and we wanted to do a third one. So the first one is basically, I would say more pastry. So like mixing like imperial stout with coconut, coffee, and chocolate. So this is the first part, so more pastry. Then we have like this one. So sway is part of the one with chocolate and fruit. So we're gonna have like chocolate raspberry, chocolate orange, like adding some fruit in this series. And also we wanted to do like a chocolate bar. I don't know what you say, but yeah, chocolate bar series. So I don't know if you can tell brands, but like stuff like Kit Kat, Mars, Snickers.
Okay, like replicate that.
So replicate this kind of flavor in the beer.
Okay.
And sway first one with the fruit and basically chocolate. So very interesting. I think it's a good mix of the fruit. It's a bit kind of like the cake Forêt Noire.
Okay.
I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, Black Forest.
Black Forest, exactly.
Forêt Noire. Wow.
Sorry, it's a bit
Look at
late. My friend is taking over.
My 6 months of taking French. Do you know the only time I speak French is when I'm drunk in an Uber back in the day? So
Yeah.
it's the best time to speak it. It's the only time I don't give a fuck about like I
Let's
can.
use the podcast
Any
in
mistakes?
French.
Oh, we're gonna give it like 20 minutes, mate. It's gonna be an all French podcast.
Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna
No.
do my best.
You have to do your best. You've been here a few times, Nosh. You know the deal.
I know yes, no, and thank you. That's it, mate.
What's the slip?
Let's go.
Oh, mate, this head looks insane.
Oh, I want to eat it with a spoon, actually.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Woo! And this is going to be so good when it warms up. Now, this is
Chocolate and raspberries. Oh, my goodness.
10%.
Yo, that artwork,
Oh, the artwork.
all of these labels are out of control.
Yeah,
All
let's
of
talk.
them.
Should we talk about the labels for a second? Because your artwork is.
We totally should.
It's my buddy.
Yeah. Tell us about that,
Yeah.
guys, because it's like this is fantastic.
No, it's but the guy, it's I know I know this guy for 20 years. So
He lives in Toronto.
He
lived a year
Yeah.
about 10 years ago.
Yeah, he's
French?
very creative.
He's French. He lives in
Of course,
another
he's
ville.
French. Everyone's
He is really, really good. He's such a nice guy too. So it's
Woo!
I never.
and I know what to say.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, no, but your
Yeah, yeah,
labels.
Very creative ideas.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my god.
Woo! That is phenomenal. My God.
Yeah, that is crazy. Oh
Yeah,
my
this
goodness.
is my jam right here. Get it? Jam. It's raspberry and chocolate. Get it?
Oh,
Get it?
good luck.
You like that, right?
Do you like
Yeah, this
raspberry
is,
jam, mate?
This is sick, boys. Like, this is like, yeah,
Oh.
all the labels. I'm just looking at them all here from everything. And
Super cute.
Yeah, you guys really have a real distinct branding. I love the way that it's sort of like even the can's got the picture with the bold font at the bottom and the real subtle on the side here it's the other side with like the Bandit Brewery, the address and the ABV and all that type of stuff. It's just like it's simple.
It's so minimal.
effective, minimal, exactly. Well said. Yeah, man.
Every label has kind of their color palette too. Like, there's a theme of like 2 or 3 colors, very minimal like that, and it's super clean. That's the main thing.
Ooh,
Yeah,
my
let
God.
him know.
I love the block of chocolate at the very bottom that the raspberries are swinging on. That little block of chocolate, little bed is just that's a great little add to the label.
Yeah, man, I agree. This is so good. Fucking hell. Please tell us about this. This is fantastic.
Mm.
Actually, or maybe not too much.
No, basically, like, what I was saying, it's like part of a new like a series of imperial stout. So, like this, like those batch, like it's a 2-day process. So it's a long time, like a lot of work to make it. Because as we say, we are not using like extra sugar or sugar in our beer, so it's only grain. And to have like this percentage of alcohol, of course, you need a lot of grain with our system. So it's like a 2-day batch, so it's double batch. And then basically, yeah, we want to play a bit with the new series, adding like some fruit. So it's raspberry this time. Probably next time it's going to be orange and chocolate. So we want to be like in the pastry side. And yeah, we are using also like a good cacao that like very nice flavor. Like we select like 2 or 3
Nibs
from Nibs,
local,
local supplier
okay.
too. And so we try for like 2, 3, 4 like different supplier. We try the Nibs. We say okay, maybe this can go. And the raspberry was perfect also to balance, not too much, and not to just have a hint. Like it's pretty, like it's here. Like you can feel the raspberry for sure. So yeah, we are more like on the pastry beer dessert, like whatever, but it's like nice beer to finish, like a dinner, like a night.
A meal,
yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, man. This is.
So yeah, like a Black Forest style, I would say.
That's what it's right. Black Forest cake. Yeah. It's definitely a Black Forest cake vibe, like that kind of like sticky.
Yeah, the nice
chocolate.
cherry Black Forest vibes.
Yeah.
Stupid good.
But like less. Cherry has that dark red vibe. Like this is that little bit brighter
Yeah.
because of the raspberries. So it's kind of like that juicier red berry as opposed to that darker red. And you can tell the difference, but it's still definitely that like decadent chocolate vibe.
It's like less body, more flavor. Yeah.
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 Like it's luxurious. Like
We
this,
are impulse stouts. And very what we like, I think about like if you can make them syrupy, they can stick to the glass like this.
yeah.
So really like this, especially me. And
Oh,
that's all IPAs are going to be like this. And you have some variations about like
The flavor, the
flavor,
food, and everything. Yeah.
but it cannot be like some bunch of malts, a bunch of dextrose, then you get an impulse stout like a finish at 10, 20,
No.
We don't want to make that. That's
No.
Just with
we
grain,
that's the density. That's
high
so much.
density just going, just natural and ice. So yeah. Maybe that's the French part here, like the high alcohol percentage.
Hey man, whatever works, I'm here for it. It's like that dessert. I feel like you guys like the French, creme brulee is probably my favorite dessert of all time, which is super
Oh
French.
my goodness.
It's the greatest.
Top tier.
I remember we were in Australia and my uncle, we are
Yeah.
not French by any means. And
At all.
And they brought over a bunch of creme brulees and a thing, and they brought the flamethrower.
Blowtorch.
And these are just white Australian people. And they just went, they put them in the oven and it's like, in the sugar. And I was like, yo, I'd never seen it
It
before.
looked picture perfect. It was crazy. We were blown away.
Literally, get it with the blowtorch, yeah? Huh?
Hey.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate that sort of French dedication. I think maybe, I know you're joking, but I think there might be something to that where the French have like just a thing for desserts. Like you guys just know the millefeuille and like different type of desserts with like they're just creamy and just big and bold. And I feel like this comes through in the flavors in this bad boy here, which it's a great share.
Maybe we should do like a croissant or pain au chocolat.
Wow, so
Dark chocolate croissant. Let's go. You should make a bunch of different like pairings for this beer, like a different kind of lunch pairings and a couple of dinner pairings just for this. Maybe a couple of dessert pairings, but like if people want to stop through and like have a little snack with this, that'll be a great, get some fancy anything, any kind of meals with this would go good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people would appreciate it. No, this is some. I mean, this is like a really fascinating like lineup of beer that we've done tonight, from IPAs to two different types of doubles. A barrel-aged sour, barrel-aged barley wine, and now an imperial pastry stout. Like, it really shows.
Eclectic lineup.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a lot of range. Once again, I don't know if people realize the level of range that you guys have, and I think it's just dope. Very cool. It's all extremely well done. The branding is on point. It's the experience in the brewery is always really dope as well, because you've got this big warehouse type space like behind you guys. You can
big
see
space open,
the hanging lights and stuff, and now the beautiful big patio that's super COVID friendly and safe that opens tomorrow in Toronto. That's Saturday, March the 20th. Tomorrow in Toronto. Juan is going to greet you with a smile and a hug. Not a hug. I'm joking about the hug.
Not a hug. No. Elbow dap. Elbow daps.
Just a little elbow. That's the face. You're gonna.
I'm giving a smile.
That's the smile. You can just draw the smile on the mask.
You smile with your eyes these days, guys. Smile with your eyes.
No, it's super cool, man.
Right.
Everything that you guys are doing is very, very cool. And I do recall we have eaten there before as well, and the food was always phenomenal. So will you guys have the kitchen will be there tomorrow as well if people want to come by?
The open but limited menu.
Limited menu, that's fine.
We're going to be good. Our chef makes awesome food, honestly, and
but and we're still going to do like fresh pasta every Friday. Like every 2 weeks, we're gonna have like a special takeout, Sunday dinner meal kit.
Yeah.
And we still have also like the small charcuterie board and cheese board also available the weekend. And like also like some gross I won't say groceries, but how do you call it, like the commissary, so like hot sauce, vinegar, like everything homemade. So very nice.
Yeah, see that's the experience, I think. And look, a limited menu is fine, because if you think about it, like everything's been closed.
You go there for beer. You just want some chips, mate. You just want some snacks.
It's less when one day notice. So
yeah, and it's not that serious. Like, people are just happy to be out. They're happy that, this is the first, honestly, we've been here 10 years, and this is one of the first springs that are happening in March in a real way. Normally spring is like damn near May.
Deep April.
Yeah, deep April, if not May. Like, I remember it snowing in May in some of the times we've been here. And you know, I think people are just grateful to be out and about and to be able to go out and support a local brewery and a local business. You know, be able to eat and have something to drink and just talk to people in a safe way. You know, that's COVID friendly and stuff. And I think that's very exciting at this point in time for everybody. We've been
Being
locked in.
outside is fun.
Being
in
inside
any way.
being inside is cool, but I think it's time. You know, if we go back to have a beautiful weekend, you guys are. The timing is spectacular, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's super appealing to be able to do that and to drink, you know, really high quality beers, and also to leave. You can leave there with. I would, you know, make sure if you're going to go to a brewery to drink a couple beers and have some food, leave with a bunch of beers. Grab a 6-pack to go at least, type of thing, and make sure you keep
That's the
supporting,
point.
because the last thing, you know, we want breweries like Bandit to be around all the time, and the fact that you guys have been able to figure out, you guys were already packaging, but you would have had, like you said, you converted to 100% packaging, you know, so you know, it's very important for the breweries to survive, that everyone keeps, you know, grabbing the stuff, and that's what we want. You know, when things get back to normal, we want to make sure all of our favorite places are still there and thriving, god damn it, so we can continue to enjoy everything they have to do. So, you know, this is beautiful, guys. I really appreciate it. I really don't want to keep you guys too much longer, because once again, I'm very aware that tomorrow is a big day. I want to make sure that you guys aren't too drunk off the barley wine and the imperial stouts. Juan's gonna have to take you, Uber you guys
Need some
home,
supper.
put you to bed. This has been really great, guys. I really genuinely appreciate all your time. This has been fantastic. I'm really glad we did this. I'm genuinely very impressed with everything. The Haze was fire. The barrel aged stuff is fire. Like, you guys are awesome. Juan is a legend. Patio tomorrow. What can I say? What more do you need? You know? There he is. Come say good day. There he is. Look at
There
this
you
guy.
go. Look at that. We should do the thumbnail with
Oh,
the thumbnail
Juan, no,
with
Juan,
Juan in
stay
there,
there.
man.
Guys, we're going to do a
Stay there
thumbnail.
with the thumbnail.
I got to take a screenshot. Do you want to hold up some of the packaging and stuff? I'm going to hold up.
Get a couple of beers, mate.
I'm going to hold up a couple bottles.
Oh, cloud for me.
Here we go.
I
Okay, you ready?
come on.
There he is. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that.
Fantastic.
I'm
All
putting
the
that on the
squad.
Christmas card, mate.
Christmas
that is-
cards from BAOS.
God damn it, that is beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for your time tonight. This has been genuinely fantastic. All three of you guys. Where can we find Bandit online?
You can just put the Bandit. Yeah,
Best
I'm not
guy
gonna
for
leave
it.
it. You can go to banditbrewery.ca and you'll find all our delivery, our Ontario-wide shipping, everything's right there.
Bandit Brewing.ca.
Brewery.ca. Yeah. And
on
and
Instagram?
follow them on Instagram, we're bandit_brewery.
Right on the screen
And-
there. Boom.
And you
Yeah.
can find out all about our Ontario deliveries, where we're going to be next week. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
I love it. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, guys. Notion, where can everyone find you online, sir?
At Illnote Studios on Facebook, Instagram, and illnotestudios.com for mixing, mastering, product photography, food, and beer.
I love it.
What
Guys,
about you, mate?
I love it. I appreciate it. Guys, I'm just going to wrap this up. Stick around and we'll say goodbye just at the end of this. I'll wrap this up. So everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening. We appreciate y'all. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell, Notion,
Ding!
so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast and check out the long form audio so you can hear extraordinarily attractive gentlemen like Juan, Ben, and Stéphane talk about craft beer in Ontario. That is it. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you again. Stay safe. Get in here.
Thank
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the
Cheers.
guys.
Appreciate
Cheers,
y'all.
guys. Merci. Merci.
Merci, le. What's up?